Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be doing a late June reading wrap-up. I know that the last reading wrap-up that I did, I said that I was going to do it bi-monthly, but as I was filming that really long wrap-up, I realized that it's probably better to just do this on a month-to-month basis. Let's just hop right into it. The first book that I read in June was Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This is the third and final book in the Divergent trilogy. This is YA dystopian. If you don't know anything about Divergent, basically this series is about a dystopian Chicago society in which people are placed into factions where they work and live. Essentially, this series is about the takedown of that society. I ended up giving this a 4.25. Allegiant was actually my favorite of all three of them. I've heard some people say that Allegiant is actually their least favorite, but I feel like the reason why I liked this one so much compared to the other ones was because I felt more attached to the characters. I also didn't know anything about the storyline because I had previously, before reading these books, watched Divergent and Insurgent, the first two movies, so I kind of knew what I was getting into a little bit, but with this one I had no idea because I'd never watched Allegiant before. Honestly, I watched Allegiant after reading this. If you just watched the movies, just know that Allegiant the movie basically has a whole different plot line than this book. I was watching that movie where is this coming from? They literally changed the whole plot. It was wild to me. The next book that I read in June was one that I read in my Reading Summer Books vlog. I'll link that up here if you guys want to go watch that. But that is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is an adult romance. I thought through my rating for this all month and I decided, because I literally think about it all the time, you guys, I am going to rate this a 4.75. If you watched that vlog, you know I am obsessed with this book. Yep. This is my second Emily Henry book. I read Happy Place a month or 2 months ago, and I really liked Happy Place, but this, I don't know. I am chalking it up to the fact that it's friends to lovers and the banter was absolutely perfect. I guess I really like friends to lovers. I didn't really know that beforehand. I'm still trying to figure out my reading tastes, as you guys know. It was really interesting to read this because I heard actually a lot of people say that this is their least favorite Emily Henry book. But so far, I've only read 2, but this, for me, beat Happy Place. I don't know. I really like that feeling of, two people really knowing each other, deep down, but they're not, intimate, and then, it's a slow burn, and they finally get together. I don't know, that just hits for me. And the banter was just immaculate in this. I never thought that I would be the girly that was sitting there reading a book and giggling to herself until this book. Yes. It was so close to being a 5. I kind of did get that 5-star feeling, but there was, I can't really remember exactly what. I think it was the third act breakup part that I was just kind of takes away from it, but other than that, this is sheer perfection for romance in my opinion. The next book that I read was also in my Reading Summer Books vlog, and that is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This is about a couple who meet as teenagers and they have this week of basically falling for each other and spending time together. and something at the end of the week kind of tears them apart. And they're both authors, and both of them end up writing about each other in their books, which is really cute. And then eventually at a convention, they see each other and they get to talking again and they get to spending more time together again. I also really loved this book. I ended up giving this book a 4 stars. This is very different from People We Meet on Vacation in terms of the romance and just the plot line in general. This one is a lot more real and deep. There's actual real life issues in this one, whereas People We Meet on Vacation is just rom-com-y, not very realistic, just fluff, you know. But this definitely has more to it in terms of like real life. This book touches on so many things. It touches on grief. It touches on single motherhood. It touches on addiction. It touches on abuse. It also touches on the struggles that BIPOC authors go through in the writing industry, which is very interesting also. I would definitely look up trigger warnings for this one. I really liked the daughter in this book. I think her name is Audrey. She was super sassy and super cute, and I loved her and the mom's dynamic. I also loved the MMC's relationship to his students. I thought that that was really sweet. It was heartwarming, heart-wrenching. I cried. But yeah, overall, I really liked this one. The next book that I want to talk about is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I made it probably a quarter, maybe less than a quarter of a way through this. This is my second time trying to pick this book up, and guys, I DNF'd it. To be honest with you, I don't even know what this is about. Because the back of this, I don't understand it. I don't know. Sorry. I cannot get into this writing. I don't know. It's the writing, but also I don't know if it's just in the beginning, but it's really, really, really slow. It feels like it's like talking about things that are completely unnecessary, and that's probably not true because it probably comes up later in the book, but at least in the beginning of this book, this is heavy on the talk about like the financial world and like crimes in the financial world, and it kind of felt like there was like a lot of industry talk that I didn't really understand, and it's not something that I want to try and understand either. It was just not hitting for me. I've heard good things about this, and I know that there's movies or a movie, I'm not sure, but I couldn't do it. It's my second time DNFing it, and I think I'm going to unhaul it, unfortunately. It stinks, too, because it was one of those things where I bought the whole series, expecting it to be really good. So that kind of stinks, but it is what it is. The next book that I read, I do not have because it was my friend's and I gave it back to her, but that book is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This is a thriller, a very popular thriller. This is about a woman that was found at the scene of a crime, her husband's murder, and she was covered in blood and she was holding the murder weapon, but she will not talk. She was sent to an asylum and she didn't talk to police. She didn't talk to her friends, her family. She's not talking to anybody in the asylum. This therapist comes in and he wants to be the one to get her to talk. I'm scared that I'm going to not offend, but upset some people. But for me, this book was a 3.75 for a rating. I thought that the story was really intriguing and it kept me captivated, and I wanted to know what the ending was going to be, how they were going to get the silent patient to talk, and everything. I wanted to know everything, but I guessed the plot twist. Unfortunately for me with thrillers, if I guess the plot twist, that brings it down a lot. It can be like a good thriller and like a good story, and I still like really liked it. I gave it a 3.75. That's not a bad rating at all. That's above average to me. Average, I feel like, is like a 3.5 to me. I really like Alex Michaelide's writing style. I really liked The Maidens also. I actually liked The Maidens more than I liked The Silent Patient though. To be honest with you, if it was one of like my first thrillers that I ever read, I probably would have been shook. And I probably would have given it a higher rating. But I feel like I've read so many thrillers now that I always see everything coming, which kind of stinks. And I wish my brain didn't do that. Like, I wish that my brain could just like relax and read the book and like not try to figure out what the plot twist is, but it's just what my brain does. So, but yeah. Still really good book. I just guessed the plot twist, so that brought it down. And the last book that I want to talk about is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This is a children's thriller, I guess? I think it is a children's thriller or a young adult thriller. I ended up giving this a 3.5. I'm not sure if it is just because I was kind of feeling a little bit slumpy when I started reading this, but it was a little bit slow in the beginning and definitely picked up a little later on in the book. This is about a teenage boy who was really close with his grandfather, and his grandfather actually ends up passing away. And in like a very spooky, scary way, he actually watches his grandfather pass away. And his grandfather always used to tell him stories about this house that he used to live at during the war that had all of these different peculiar children that have like different like gifts and like different like spooky things about them, I guess. And the boy makes it his mission to go and find this house and learn more about his grandfather's history and what this house is all about. I did really like this. I was really intrigued. I thought all of the main characters were really interesting and I wanted to know more about them. It just took a little bit for me to get through it, and I'm not sure if that is the book to blame or if that is my slumpiness to blame. I have to keep in mind also that this was made for children, I think, or young adults. I don't know. Maybe it's not as spooky as I was hoping it to be. I'm pretty sure there's a Disney movie about this. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Disney Plus. But yeah, it was cute, and I'm gonna read the second one and see how I feel about the second one. And if I feel kind of the same way where it was like, yeah, it was good, but like not like amazing, then I think I'll probably pass on the rest of the series. I think this is like a 5 or 6 book series, so I don't want to invest myself unless I'm really feeling excited about it. And that's it, you guys. That is my June reading wrap up. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read any of these books or if any of these books are on your TBR. I would love to know your thoughts about them. As I always say, I love to chat books in the comments with you guys. If you guys want more bookish content and more kind of like life stuff, you can follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, please like and comment and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!